Well, I've always wanted to visit Israel, but somehow, being a Malaysian, I never had the guts for it. It was earlier last year that my wife actually made the trip, and it kind of encouraged me because, for one thing, I've always been pro-Israel and pro-Jew. You know, I've been very supportive. I mean, looking at the history of Israel and the present political situation and so forth. And I've always had lots of arguments with my wife. But when she came back from Israel, she was completely quite changed, you know. Suddenly from being quite anti-Jew, anti-Israel, she became very pro, you know. She was very supportive. She appreciated the land and its people. So that kind of spurred me on to want to come. So when I got that email from Ken, immediately I jumped to it. This is a great opportunity to be able to come to Israel, you know. And of course I was assured that being a Malaysian and all that, it shouldn't be a problem and all that, you know. So I have no regrets. It's been a wonderful trip. It's been a wonderful blessing to me, principally because the Bible and all that I've learned in the past have come really to life. It's come alive. And thanks a lot, of course, to Surya in his, you know, in his deliberations and all that. He has kind of reinforced, reconfirmed a lot of things that I had in mind. There wasn't any particular surprises for me, you know, having had the privilege of doing some reading and looking at the background. But I think it's going to help me tremendously in terms of preaching and teaching the word now, that I've actually walked the path where Jesus walked and actually walked through this biblical lens. There are many things that I'm just going through my mind and my heart as I prepare for messages and preaching to come. I think it's going to be that much easier and more effective for me. There were a few emotive moments, especially at the Mount of Olives, and just overlooking those final days as Jesus approached the Temple Mount, how he would have felt together with his disciples on the way down that valley to Kidron Valley. And it was very emotive for me. It would have been very agonizing. Now, if you ask me what happened to me, why did it happen to me, I would say perhaps one reason is that I could feel even more the agony that Jesus would have felt in the part during the last week until the crucifixion. And at the crucifixion spot also, I felt very emotional at that spot. It may not be the exact spot, but that's quite, I think quite irrelevant. But just going through the motions and just reflecting and meditating upon what had happened, I think has greatly enriched me in an emotive, spiritual sense. So I'm very appreciative for what I've gone through, and I would certainly recommend for others to come, and perhaps I might even come again, this time hopefully with my wife. Thank you.